Welcome viewers, on behalf of the Cricket Show USA, I'm Jatin Patel, your host today. We are live from the Atlanta Open 2022. That's a big event. It's a second year in a row since this event started, and it has been so many celebrities from around the world. And today we have Shafiq Javedji with me. In a short introduction, very recently on October 1st in Hartford, Connecticut, he was inducted as a Cricket Hall of Fame, and he is a part of our team when we talk about the Hall of Famers. And this award is a recognition for his work in Atlanta area in terms of the cricket. He's been in USA for a long time as a professional, but the contributions are not measurable, I would say. It's unlimited. He has dedicated so much time. There's so many things he has done, and today we have opportunity to see him live as well as ask him few questions, and it can tell us some insight what he has achieved, what he has tried to do, and also why we are standing here today, where the cricket is making a huge progress, especially in US, and it is making a global noise when it comes to the USA cricket. So welcome to the show, Shafiq Bhai.
Thank you.
And congratulations on your induction for the Cricket Hall of Fame.
Thank you.
And we enjoyed event, but I had to run away. I was with my wife, and we don't have too much time to hang around after the event. And I see you were super excited with that recognition, and party was on when I left.
Yes.
So I like to have a few words from you about the Cricket Hall of Fame's recognition, and how you feel about that achievement at this age, while you had a passion for cricket and has been working hard with a lot of desire from inside to see the better cricket like today.
Absolutely. Also, Jatin, thank you very much for giving us the opportunity to have a conversation. It is always an honor when you get some recognition for the work that you are doing. You don't do the work for the recognition, but you do the work because it makes an impact. But the fact that Hall of Fame recognized me along with other inductees in the 2022 class, it is certainly an honor, because that's an institution that has been in existence for the last 41 years. It is certainly first of its kind Hall of Fame institution. So it is an honor to be part of the fraternity. But again, the work continues on. The work should not stop just because of the recognition. The work must go on.
Just for the viewers, when I inducted a few years back, to me it was an extra feather on my head about what we do for cricket in US. And eventually it was excitement when you receive such award, but it also helped us to, especially for me, I feel like I'm getting more inspiration and motivation to do well and continue to promote the game in USA. How about your opinion after this recognition?
No, I think, Jatin, I absolutely agree with you, because we are human beings, and we need to keep the flame alive. And there are days, and I'm sure in your life there are days where you are asking yourself, why am I doing this? Because it's not easy to keep your passion alive, to make an impact. There are days, there are struggling days. But I think it's moments like these where you feel like, the journey needs to continue on. The journey needs to have the continuous passion. And more importantly, now being part of the fraternity, I'm blessed to say that now tomorrow, if I need to call any Hall of Famer to say, hey, let's come together, let's do something together and all, because all of us have similar passions. So I think being part of the fraternity, it's a joyous moment, and I think it will certainly keep the flame alive for me.
Being as a coach too for a long time, coming from soccer coaching more, I always tell my players, rather than dictate them, to guiding them, mentoring them, I believe in one simple philosophy. Let them do what they like to do and love to do. How you feel on that statement? What do you think? If somebody is involved, we know all this hardship in US cricket. There's so much thing going on. We can continue for, I will say, few weeks if we talk about issues. But the bottom line is what we can see as a future for tomorrow with the momentum going on, and when somebody approach you for any help or like to have inside of the game, what do you will advise?
Good question, right? Because, and I'm a simple guy in philosophy wise. All of us have an opportunity to make an impact, and that also means that if you are going to continue to do what you are passionate about and you want to see results, manage your own expectations, because in life, good things don't happen overnight. Good things don't happen alone, right? Because there are people who are similar kind of passion, or have similar kind of passion in order to get things done in life. So in my life, it has been a pleasure to continuously follow individuals, continuously make myself available to those who are passionate. It doesn't necessarily need to be just cricket. It could be any other things in life. So my philosophy has always been, and I tell my players, be passionate, remain humble, and always stay hungry. Because if you don't have hunger in life, it'll be very difficult for you to go through the struggles, to come to the finish line or continue to move the finish line. So I'm a believer that if someone came to me and said, hey, can you offer me some of your time or some of your thoughts, or whatever I can offer, we cannot put ourselves on a pedestal and think we are here. All of us are here. We just have different interests, but passion is a similar concept across the board.
Once again, viewers, we are live from Atlanta 2022 Open, and we have Shafiq Javedji today. He is recently inducted as a Cricket Hall of Fame 2022, and we are discussing going further. You hear the great news during that induction ceremony that founder, pioneer, and our executive chairman declared the Hall of Fame Museum. It will be the one of the biggest and largest in the world. What's your thoughts about it? And what do you think if this thing already taking place, I will say, it's in a process, in a pipeline with a lot of planning going on. And can you give your idea, if you are being involved in that kind of museum project, what you can see, where we can bring the people in the future to the museum, not to visit just one time, but frequently coming to us, and recognize that the cricket was started as the first national game was played in US way back in 1845, and since then left. And even today, when we talk to the American fraternities, we are telling indirectly, this is American sport. Correct. Your past president has played. The first game was played in New York. We are talking so much history, but to improve that myth, and with the momentum we have, what do you think about this concept or idea about museum? And in your opinion, what can be done which can differentiate us? Like USA is a top figure sports arena.
Absolutely.
And we want to put something big which does not exist anywhere in the world.
Absolutely. So first and foremost, I'm extremely delighted to hear that we are ambitious to create this museum, right? For a variety of reasons. More importantly, we are, as you said, in the sporting capital of the world, right? Cricket, as you mentioned, is not a new thing. So in my point of view, there is history to be preserved. There is the journey that needs to be told. And more importantly, there needs to be the future that needs to be showcased. So the history preservation, which has not happened, because if you ask a normal, even passionate cricketer, do you know about cricket? I say, yeah, cricket has been introduced last 40 years in this country when the West Indians came about. But we know that's not the truth. So the preservation of the history of cricket, connecting that sport with the sport of baseball, which is our national sport. Because we know, you go to Cooperstown, the first two Hall of Famers is a cricket player and a cricket manager, right? You go to a city like Haverford and you see Germantown, Cricket Club, Haverford Cricket Club, Marion Cricket Club, Philadelphia Cricket Club, and you look at those buildings, there were cricket facilities in the 1800s. Yep. None of that has been realized for those who are playing cricket today. So I think there's an opportunity for us to be extremely ambitious in this project, all right? To allow us to understand our history, preserve our history, understand where we are today, and more importantly, where we want to go tomorrow. Because we know, you've been around the cricket scene for many years. Fortunately, I've been around the cricket scene for many years. We know this decade can have a tremendous impact to the sport of cricket, especially with the Olympics in 2028 in LA. By May next year, the Olympic Committee is going to decide cricket is going to be there or not. So I think all these things, it's not one thing, it's many small points that need to be connected and to be told into a story. It's an opportunity to tell our story of where we have been, where we are, and where we are going.
So for the Cricket Show USA viewers and listeners, you can see in the background, we are enjoying, this is the championship game, the final going on.
Correct.
And looks like we are at the balance point at the moment because the team chasing the target is under the power play at the moment. So later on I'll give you update on score or who is winning. But why we are here, it's also important because I came to Atlanta to support my team, but the Shafiq Javedji is here, the local. So now I like to give you the opportunity to you freely, whatever I like to speak about your arriving to the USA and your journey to be here today.
Great. So I've been blessed, first of all, to have lived in different continents. So I was born in the continent of Africa in a country called Tanzania. My family had moved there in the 1800s. We moved out in 1972. Most of my relatives ended up in Canada and England. Our parents got on a ship. We ended up in Pakistan. So I spent 9 years of my childhood in Pakistan. That's where I learned the sport of cricket. Then I moved to New York in 1982. A very exciting time in New York, very dangerous time in New York in the 80s. And didn't realize that there was sport of cricket being played. So I got involved back in the sport of cricket in the late 80s. So I did not play cricket from age 14 to 18. And then I got involved with some West Indian cricket and played good 25 years of West Indian cricket in New York, played in Commonwealth League, Metropolitan League, Eastern American League, traveled all across the country, all across the world to play. Moved to Johns Creek 11 years ago. Currently a resident of Johns Creek. And I decided that we wanted to use the sport of cricket in Johns Creek. So I'm a founder and the president of the Johns Creek Cricket Association, which is a non-for-profit tax-exempt entity. We are working closely with the city of Johns Creek to build infrastructure. We have built youth pitches. We have built cricket batting cages. We have built electronic scoreboards. We are in the process of doing our new park called Collie Creek, which is a 200+ acre park in Johns Creek with lights and everything. There will be a cricket field there with lights as part of the city project. There'll be phase 2 of it. So my journey has been a blessed journey to be around individuals who have been good mentors to me, who have been passionate in their lives, who have given me the opportunity to share my passion. So just this coming Thursday, this Thanksgiving, we are starting a new program in Johns Creek called Giving Thanks Tournament. And the purpose of Giving Thanks Tournament is very simple. Every sport has a charity event. We are going to use cricket as a charity event, sport event for the Johns Creek Public Safety Foundation. So we're going to do that event, which will be an annual event played during Thanksgiving time. It's called Giving Thanks Cricket Tournament. It'll be a leisure format, softball cricket. We'll get the city involved because we also do the Johns Creek Cricket Festival, where the city gets involved. We actually do a match between the Johns Creek Police Department and Johns Creek Fire Department. So all these things ultimately is to create community engagement. We cannot just be playing the sport and not using the sport to do things for the community. So that has been my passion. How can I as an individual surround myself with people like you and others to do those kind of things?
So viewers and listeners, we continue talking about Atlanta cricket, but we are very fortunate to bring another guest of honor here to today talk for a few minutes if you can. He's a Sawn Shah. He's a local businessman and being heavily interested to be part of it. Recently on his 50th birthday, you'll not believe it but surprised, we had a Preeti Zinta, Chris Gale and a lot of celebrities and legends, and I'm coming back to the cricket. he also loves the cricket, and it is the same weekend where Chris Gale did the ceremony at the Paramveer Cricket Field, which is the another cricket field building up in Atlanta. So is Atlanta, as we hear from the Shafiq Javedji, like there's so many things are going on, and believe it or not, these Atlanta fields were established last 2 years. 2 seasons went by. Same thing with the Paramveer fields. The difference is these both facilities are privately owned. This one has some partnership where the Paramveer is like a family business. But give you a little bit of insight, the Paramveer is the full-sided, all 6 grounds with the 80-yard capacity, and every ground almost done, I will say. Foundation and construction has been done as of yesterday, and now we just have to wait for the grass. And eventually, what I can say is it should be ready in a couple of months as a playable. But coming to here, let's have some word from the Sawn Shah about the thing is going up in Atlanta cricket locally, let's say. And I think you are waiting for cricket to happen for a long time.
That's right.
We all came from back home in this country initially for the money and settled down with family. But even our gray hair, bald head, I will say we still believe that cricket is in our blood.
Absolutely.
And when you see these talents, legends coming to your home, and you taking time off from your business and coming into, how you feel? Let's have a few words from you.
I feel very great, very well organized by the local organizer. Nice team, nice event for last 5 days. Enjoying cricket a lot over here, and like say 200-acre. That's the very dedicated to the cricket in Atlanta. That's the first biggest thing ever happened. And also same time the Atlanta Paramveer, I've been watching, very much following every day to their progress. ICC level field, which is we needed. The next step is we need to be infrastructure to have a bigger stadium so we can bring the international game over here. That's going to be our goal, to be over here to get the cricket more promoted in USA. So it's coming up. It took time, but it's coming up, and great job by these both guys to handling very well to the be a next level to be a cricket in Atlanta.
And
I would
Jatin,
definitely like to have one more last question. For the viewers and listeners for Cricket Show USA, as you read, Paramveer is making some noise for last year and a half since they bought that land and expanded and finishing close to with the ambition, or I will say we all expect that that will be the one of the best facility in entire North America. Will be built based on the ICC requirements, and probably there is a too strong support we have in local community. With those kind of ambition, I will say it's a dream for the Paramveer owners, and we are together to help them. And when it happens, we all will be enjoying. The beautiful thing is we have something in our backyard. How you feel on that?
Oh, feel great. Hopefully by the time next year, this time we have more international players come to the Georgia and play and use that facility and make cricket more bigger in USA.
And I would say, Jatin, I mean, both Jayesh and Seema Patel are good friends, and what they have done along with him and others is invest in the sport, right? We are, yes, in the United States of America, where sports is a big thing, but what they've done is phenomenal, and I think it's going to be a beautiful facility when it gets ready next year. So thank you.
For the listeners and viewers, before we proceed, I like to say, Sir Sawn Shah, thank you for coming up quick.
Thank you.
And we enjoyed chatting with you, and we'll talk later sometime. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Going back Atlanta local cricket, Shafiq Javedji is being involved in almost every project, I will say, whether his own project, whether it's his community project, or going by nationality, anything happening at their national level, if their group is doing something, his support is always there, and he's here today, and I have seen him at the Paramveers too. So with that, I will say probably this is the last question. How you feel about all this happening in Atlanta? And we just discussed about the Paramveer. It will be the one of the beautiful things.
Absolutely.
And just like when we grown up, especially I grown up, I always dream one thing. When I go to the England, I want to go to the Lords. What do you think about that situation for the Paramveer?
Absolutely. No, I think, Jatin, I've been blessed again to have friends who are passionate about doing things, right? And Seema and Jatin Patel, along with all the community members and business owners, have done a lot for the sport of cricket. This new infrastructure that is getting built in Rydal, Georgia, is going to be a destination location. The best thing that we have to think about is we're living in the city of Atlanta or Metro Atlanta that can have 10 months of good cricket because the weather is nice. We are in October, guess what? The temperature is 75 degrees. So the opportunity, and having lived in New York for 30 years, where we know the cricket season could be a 6 months or 5 month season, here we have the opportunity. That new infrastructure is going to enhance the quality of play because we'll be able to do high quality tournaments that are going to be ICC sanctioned, but at the same time that infrastructure is going to be available for local play as well. So we will have the opportunity to upgrade the local infrastructure usage by having the local players play, but more importantly, tournaments like the tournaments that we are witnessing, 5-day tournament, we can do it over there and really enjoy it, create the experience. So I'm absolutely delighted for all that is going on in Metro Atlanta, and I just want to be available for those who are doing things, and let's work together, let's figure this out together. No one is bigger than any one of us. And I think when 2 plus 2 come together, we can get 5 out of it.
For the global listeners and viewers, I'd like to give a little bit insight on USA. As you know, everybody wants to visit New York. It's a different city. If you talk about the vacation destination, definite capital world is Orlando. Until now, when you used to talk about cricket, it's always about Miami area, Fort Lauderdale area,
Yes.
just because of the only single stadium in North America. But when we discuss all these, and when you listen this Atlanta, and this field is coming up, I can give you a little insight on Atlanta. Is Atlanta holds world's heaviest airport in
Business
terms
airport
of
in
the
the world.
traffic as well as the business. So this will be the future destination. When the cricket flies, you are expecting more visitors can easily get into the Atlanta from any part of the world, and that's a beautiful thing to see. Not only that, when you compare the Atlanta against like New York, Los Angeles, San Francisco, it's a more economical in terms of the staying, local transportation. It can make more convenient and comfortable or affordable to anyone, and that is what we're trying to do. So to conclude the show, Shafiq Javedji, thanks for coming up
Thank you
today
very much,
and
Jatin,
giving
for
us the
joining us.
good time, and we'll definitely catch up sometime later.
Absolutely.
Thank you all. Thank you,
very much.
listeners. Thank you, viewers.